Hey, Shadow Dragon. How's it going? Yeah, hopefully this is it. Hopefully this is the test. Let me check the options thingy. Let's shrink this to the right size here. We're close enough. Audio's all good. Everything's good. Oh, actually, looks good. There's a hard mode in this. Just turn off always dash. Then you can discover what it's like to, you know, move at half the speed and hate your life. You'll just have to hold shift the whole time. It'd be just like obnoxious. That's all it is. That's hard mode. You must hold shift. You must like it. And I mean, you know, if you turn it off, you deserve it. Because, you know, I don't know why you wouldn't want to always dash with people trying to kill you. But, you know, who am I to say? You know? Maybe you just like it hard. Like AI Tifa in the morning next to you, kind of hard. Just saying. I was talking to Lepus Nix, and he was, you know, saying he was inspired by Final Fantasy VII for playing recently to add like materia to his thing or something like it. And I was like, inspired, and just put pictures of Tifa. It's like, yeah, that's what you're really adding. You got to add a friend who happens to work at a bar, a childhood friend, you know, who also does martial arts. And yeah. Totally original idea. That's right. I'll probably end up redesigning the Toymaker one more time. Honestly, I haven't put much time into the Toymaker, but I'm just like, well, I needed a masked character. So I just gave him a plague mask, but I'll probably change it. Mostly because every time I see him, I think quack. That's it. I just hear a quack in the back of my head because the little plague masks look kind of like bird masks. In theory, I should make these images slightly larger so when the screen shakes, they wouldn't show the sides like that, but I don't care. So many improvements. Now she walks between the two as well, so this way you literally see that there are two windows to choose from. Asking which should she choose? If you foolishly go in the other, you deserve it. At this point, there's no excuse, you deserve it. Every single bit of it. I'm not even tricking the player anymore. Like I was doing, like a jerk. No. I don't know why this message is way over there, and I don't care. Yeah, we'll get to that part. I'll hit him up about it. At some point. 3 minutes and 39 seconds. Let's go.
Are you ready?
Yeah. It does suck.
I sense danger.
I never even destroy these. There's almost no point. I guess technically they give you health, so there's a reason, and they give money. Nope, not gonna make it brighter because it's supposed to be dark. It's an attic. It's an attic with no lights. It's supposed to be dark. I tested it with lighter before, and the thing is mostly it just makes the area look really empty. Barely unreadable? What's barely unreadable? Wait, what? I am missing something in this. I also don't know what P4 is.
Take cover. 'Cause I sense danger. 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 'Cause I sense danger.
barely readable. Like, the area is too dark. I don't quite get what you're saying. Yeah, the enemies generate lights, and so do the players, but there's no actual, like, other lights.
Take cover.
Like, the spells generate lights, the enemies generate lights.
Don't even try.
But there's no lights on the level itself. Like,
Don't even try. Take cover. Take cover.
come on, loser. Go faster.
Take cover.
Because originally it was very colorful because there was a bunch of lights everywhere, but then it was like, well, why would there be lights? But obviously the enemies have lights and things. Especially the clowns, because they're a little glowy thing with a fire inside. Oh, that's Tinka's area with her paintings. I don't really count that as the same as this area. When I say the attic, I mostly mean this area, but that area is just not dark. I had some lights there before, but the reality is it just looks weird. Like some darkness and everything like that, and just like way less lighting. But then I'm just like, nope, the paintings generate light. Perfect. Which is keeping in, you know, it with the rest of the lore of the thing, because, you know, over where you go by her painting generates light over there too.
Take cover. Take cover. Take cover.
Hello, Binky. I really want to have dialogue in there and everything, and at some point I will add that in, like voice dialogue and everything. I'll make it much cooler. I'll also remake Binky to be not just a giant version of the clowns, but clown heads. I'm slowly remaking all the bosses to be that way. I already have a version for Anna, it's just that I don't have her, I didn't make her animations yet. But I made a design. I need to start shooting Binky.
Don't even try. I need more energy.
Apparently when they teleport you can actually hit them during a large portion of it.
Don't even try.
That's fair. I should probably fix that in a later version. You know what's not getting fixed in this version? That. Because I don't care. There's lots of ones where you can trap them in dumb little loops and stuff. I was also going to increase the cost of Firewall to be higher, but whatever.
Don't even try. I need more energy.
The next patch is balanced. This patch is literally just content. Next patch I'm going to fix this quest thingy too. But it's always at the top. But at this point, no 11th hour fixes. We're done with those. Or 13th hour fixes in the case of what I'm doing.
Congratulations.
Okay, well that's done. I also need to go do a test of the skip the intro ending thingy, and also do the ending
Hi.
of the bad ending once, I guess.
Bye.
So technically the bad ending should always work because I've literally never done anything to the bad ending since I made it. It's the same bad ending the whole time.
Bye.
Yo,
See you later.
yo.
And if the bad ending is the game crashes, that's still a bad
See you
ending.
later.
I'm not gonna lie. It's not a very good bad ending, but it is a bad ending. Sure, listen to the story. You can tell how interested I am right now. I have read it so many times. Some of the later dialogue I actually like a fair amount. I started making Tinka a lot less, reveal a lot more as she talks about her own personality in a way. She's actually kind of mean. Yeah, I'm probably going to. Like I say, there's not a lot of balance at this point. I'm not doing any balance anymore. I don't care. There's zero balance going on in this patch. But I do plan to do that in the next patch. Well, actually, there was already balance I've done, but no other changes are being made at this point. It's only broken stuff. I'm going to increase Firewall's cost later. I need to restructure everything based around the new heal spell not costing mana. I want to make the Tigers do more, have better everything. I'm going to space the skills out, give more skills to those people, but only if after certain things show up. Or like items you can buy that aren't the things like that. There's a bunch of shuffling that's going to happen. Maybe. The problem is that you'll have to grind a whole bunch and come and get them later. Like, so I don't know. I was trying to be kind of nice to the player, but I've also added a bunch of things since then. So we'll see. I could definitely increase the grind. The biggest worry I had was that people were, well, I guess I really haven't seen many people play it, honestly, but the only person who did said it wasn't all that fun for the thing. And I was like, okay, well, I've been reducing the things like that because no one else has really given a lot of feedback on it. So I might increase some of the grind some. I mean, I definitely want it to cost more. I'm going to give Bluesberry more things to buy. Also, Adixon will have a lot more too.
Take cover.
Of course, at this point, I can't even get people to play the game in the first place. So I don't know if I want to introduce additional grind just because they won't even play it. That could also just be a function of me not advertising it, really. I'll advertise this version. Go in a different way. Guess I'm killing these off, huh? I'm also going to restructure it so things don't just do 1 damage and things like that. I'll actually have bigger numbers and stuff. So basically next patch is going to be the polish patch, I think, is what's happening. I'll make note of increasing the price of those. And everyone can, like, you know, leave messages on how much they think it should be after the testing.
Lovely.
You're saying 40, 60. I mean, I'll make a note of that. Why not? Just for purposes of that, so idea for Bluesberries upgrades. So price idea. $40.60, sure. I need to also increase the drop rate a bunch.
Don't even try. Don't even try. Take cover.
Well, on the plus side, Blinded Dreaming, the first heal thing is no longer a thing. I'm gonna actually have to space out how the heals are too, because right now you just start with like 10 heal uses, and they're just available whenever you want them. So it's like the run to get Booseberry is not a big deal anymore. He just gives you a bonus use of the heals. So early on, like, I mean, heal gets markedly stronger as you go along because it's based entirely upon how much health you totally have. So, like, or your total health, I should say. So right now it's not healing for all that much. It's healing for 14. But I think the most hit points you can have currently is 37 or something like that, if you literally collect everything. And I don't know who's doing that, but I'm going to do it on this run. The full collection thingy, even though I don't really want to. I don't need him to beat the final thing at all, by any stretch. That's fair. I mean, you know, grinding does really slow down their progression.
Don't even try.
I'm definitely going to do some amount of grind. I think at this point, really, it's just I put in a bunch of ideas, and then they're all right next to each other. Like, you know, you get everything from a certain thing, you never have to go back to them. And that's... I need to space out the ideas, essentially. make it so you have to go back to the NPC to find additional things. So there's definitely going to be a massive restructure for 4. But honestly, probably wouldn't even be a good game until 4, to be honest. Man. Oh, there's a lot of honesty in there, apparently. But yeah, I definitely think there will be some grinding tossed in, and an increased amount on the drops. Maybe even slowing Poppet down and making the game a slower game intentionally is a thing. Poppet still feels really fast. And a lot of times it's just running away from the enemies, which is... with the way the game is currently laid out, it's the best plan. Just run away. So either make the enemies so aggressive that you can't just easily run away, or you have to find a different strategy.
Take cover.
For making it slower, more Diablo-like.
You are finished.
Stop.
Or even a reduced, forcing you to have a limited dash. Apparently it hits him from that far away, nice.
Finished.
Stop.
Die.
Oops.
Lovely.
You are finished.
Stop.
Die.
He jumped.
Finished.
What a jerk.
Stop.
Search and destroy. Die. Die.
Lovely.
Die. You are finished. Die. You are finished. Die. You are finished.
Take cover.
You are finished.
More energy.
The timing on it kind of sucks.
Die.
That probably stops him for way too long. Those people keeping track.
Stop.
You are finished.
Now that you have so much more mana to work with, it really is, all the spells are almost free. I need to really fix that. Because it really was based around you having to use the heal spell a lot more, so you were always out of mana. So all the spells were a lot cheaper. But hey, as long as the game works, that's what this test is. If I want to tweak a couple numbers later on, I can easily do that and still redeploy, and it won't break anything. Just as long as everything else finally works. Oh my god.
Hi.
18 minutes to beat that guy, so not the worst. Yeah, I definitely need to increase her costs. Everything is so cheap. There's just no balance in this game at all. I'm just going to say it. There's no balance. I actually had enough to buy everything that time. Usually I can't buy one of the upgrades. But in reality, you should be able to not... you should have to come back. You should have to go through a few levels. Yeah, exactly. It's literally what we're doing here. Why I do dumb things. It's just how I do. Well, there's only like one control thing left to fix, and then that'll be I'll have pretty much everything necessary to just have my Diablo game. Well, I need to make a drag and drop type of inventory.
Are you ready?
I don't know if I want to inventory in this game or what. Or do I just want like an item belt and there's just like certain number of items? How many different items do I even have at this point?
I sense danger.
How stat heavy do I want this to be? I mean, I can always keep adding to it, so.
Don't even try.
This is never the game's final form. Never. I'm definitely taking a break from this game though for like some time afterwards. Before I work on the next prototype.
Take
If nothing else, then I'm getting really tired of running tests just to have it break. And as the game gets longer, the tests get so much harder to run. I assume if you get everything, the game's about an hour and a half long. I also don't read anything, so I mean that might, you know, probably extend it a little bit too, but
Take cover.
sometimes those don't operate correctly.
Take cover.
Also, sometimes the projectiles stick on you a bit. That's fine though. There will be little problems. She ain't perfect, but she runs. That's good enough for me.
Take cover.
Just the amount of things that I've fixed, like the list of things is so long. I didn't include any bug fixes for stuff I added. Just the stuff that was bug fixed from the previous. Seemed kind of weird to add bug fixes for something you hadn't even added into the game yet, you know? That seems like it doesn't make any sense, but...
Take cover.
There were many bugs fixed from the previous versions.
Take cover.
Many, many bugs.
Take cover.
Now that should actually be even easier overall in the game, because I actually, now that it's spawning the right number of enemies, kept thinking I had to reduce the enemies because it apparently wasn't following the thing where it's supposed to limit how many it spawned. It was just going, nope, I'm just going to ignore this number. And I'm like, but how are you ignoring this number? Whatever.
Don't even try.
She went down here, right? No? Anyway. I'll get Fortuna out of here, and then can't wait to play my 10-minute tarot game. I'm gonna move the tarot game so that like it's gonna be you'll unlock her, and then over time you'll unlock the various tarot games. And maybe I'll have an item you have to find to unlock it, like a quest you have to solve for each of the ones in order to play the larger tarot games and get the other abilities. Almost certainly gonna do that.
Take cover.
I think a lot of it was it's just I didn't have enough content to really do that yet.
Take cover. Take cover.
There's too many of these things.
Take cover.
These things can really spam. Kind of annoying. They remind me of the weird little mages in Diablo, where they just, if you get so many of them, they just spam like crazy.
Take cover.
Look at that, they're just going nuts. I can't even hit them because they're stuck in something, it looks like.
Boom, baby. You're welcome.
Yes, yes, I did that.
Boom, baby.
I mean, I'm responsible technically for all this stuff. I put it in the game.
Don't even try.
Yes, yes, I did. Some people came up with some ideas, that's true.
Don't even try.
But I put them all in the game. It was my own decision to go, yeah, that idea is great. Let me put it in the game. And most of the ideas were my fault. For better or worse. Probably worse. Some people have some really good ideas. I mean, a lot of the changes to this game have been made because people suggested something. Even if I don't always go exactly with their idea. I usually
Cover.
take their idea to heart and go
Take cover.
something kind of like their idea. Unless your idea is
Don't even try.
add like humans to the attic. That clearly doesn't make sense. But
Don't even try. Take cover.
does it, Shadow Dragon? Does it have a pro?
Don't even try. Take cover.
IR finished.
Boom, baby.
That's true. I can definitely laugh at that. I've gone out of my way to make the game intentionally easier because I assume the average player hasn't played it as often as I have.
Take cover.
Didn't want to run into that problem. I'd rather err on the side of the game being easier because I do not.
I need more energy.
I mean, I've just played it so many times and I'm just exploiting a lot of things. So the average player's not even going to know to
Cover.
just make a break for it so they can avoid a lot of these fights, or that the enemies are even endless. I don't tell them the enemies are endless, but I think they'll figure it out in short order.
Take cover.
I'll tell you the lore reason why they're actually endless. Like the first victim is just resurrecting them over and over to mess with you. That hurts. I need to remember to block those. I usually only need like 4 to 6 heals to often win unless I'm being really sloppy.
Take cover.
But I gave them twice that because I figured they would be terrible.
Take cover.
There are people who have far better, like, reaction time than I do.
Cover.
So they'll probably be like, yeah, it's too many. Yeah, it's cursed. I don't have to explain necessarily, probably. I don't know. At some point, I have Tinka explain random things, but only just offhandedly. And usually you got to kind of pry him out of her because she'll deflect. Like she doesn't want to tell you for whatever reason.
Boom, baby. Boom, baby. Boom, baby. Boom, baby. Boom, baby. Boom.
All the characters you need to evade like this one, or actually all the bosses. Like I need the next balance is gonna have them all have evades.
Boom, baby.
Anna's evade's pretty good, but the other ones can often just get stuck, and Anna does not get stuck usually. She does have one hole in her AI. Though.
Boom, boom, baby.
Yeah.
Boom, baby.
Well, I've actually added in quests now that force you to go back into the areas if you want to get all the upgrades. There's actually collectibles, 2 collectibles that spawn in every one of the areas, but only after you've unlocked the people who give you the quest. It doesn't say the quest though up there. I probably need to set that up for a later version.
Boom, baby.
I actually had to restructure it so that the tarot quest doesn't keep coming back
Boom,
because of those quests.
baby. Boom, baby.
Take cover.
Boom, baby. Boom, baby. Boom, baby.
Take cover.
Boom, baby.
Take cover. Take cover.
Boom, baby. Boom, boom, baby. Boom, boom, baby. Boom, baby.
I'm gonna retool how Anna even works, honestly.
Boom, baby.
Also, for some reason she has a glowy on her. I don't know if that's happening, but whatever.
Boom, baby. Boom, baby. Boom, baby.
But because her new look is, well, first of all, more of an actual model and not just
Congratulations.
like one of those crappy dolls with no joints, but she has claws too, so she's like, able to try and, cut the player up, so she will be more aggressive by far. Also, I mean, come on, the lore is that they're cannibals. They eat other dolls, but they're cowards, so she makes things dark and then tries to be an assassin. That's actually how they're supposed to work, and there's actually 2 other versions of them that already have stuff like that. I just haven't put them in yet. But that might get added in Prototype 4 too, the other versions of the toys. The mean versions. Because there's like usually a Berserker version and then a Shadow version. Or I guess there's a Poison and a Cold version for a couple of them. Usually the Shadow versions do considerably more damage, but are so much harder to see and they move slower. And the Amiibo ones inflict darkness with all their attacks too. Originally there was one where like Anna had an attack if darkness ever got to like 200, it just instant killed you. But I took it out on the grounds of there's no easy way to cure darkness at the moment, so it was kind of, it needs other systems to support it.
Ready?
I was gonna have things where if you were really just too crappy at it, the game punished you for it. Ultimate attacks and everything. I'll probably have things that check for if the enemy's hit points are, actually the boss hit points are below a certain point, and then give them different tactics later too, but that is a different time and a different place in a land far, far away. In the land of prototype 6 or 7 or 12. Maybe 12. Let's keep raising the number up until eventually it's stupid. That sounds right here, isn't it? Nope. Usually it's better to do that. My memory sucks today. Prototype 5 million. Oh, I had the key on the wrong button there. I should have the finger on the wrong button. I wanted to test and see if she went up and down. That's what I was doing there. I've tested it many times. What if? And I'm just saying I test it one more time. Always one more time. Yes. I'll do 44 next. I usually like to do this one first now. Oops. Whatever. Oh, nope. It's the other man in black. I get confused sometimes. Nope, other man in black. Oh, the two lions are next to each other. Oh, indeed. You are really hoping for that to happen. The two of them next to each other plan. Where did I see that? Nope. Different sun thing, not a star. It's in random places every time. Otherwise it'd be so much easier and I would have no problem just doing it every time, but my memory gets worse and worse as time goes by. I just saw that. I blanked on where it was. Probably look over at the chat and I look back and I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, I usually do 44 first here. Right there. This one's here, now we're looking for that. Oh, that's the people in white. There he is. Now I tried it where you can only have two open, and the thing is it just was less fun. It actually has its own form of strategy where you do mass flips like that. It always takes a long time at that point. I'm like, oh god. Now I can just, like, you know, rapid click nervously like that, and it's more exciting, I think. Yeah, once we're down to a few, it's not that hard to figure out, but the biggest problem is the more I play this, the more I remember past times where things were at. So I don't, it's like, oh yeah, that was there, and like, wait a second. That was the other time I played this. It happens a lot. Because it's just been that many times that I played it that it just, I don't know. Over time, it's just like, it was there somewhere, I think. Oh. Oh yeah, I'm not even worried about that. I literally just brute force it now because I don't, I look away and look back over and over, and I get confused on where things were. So I look over at the chat and I'll look back at this and like, nope. Nope. Also, I wouldn't make it 40 moves anyway. I want the game to be fun. Like, at some point, it becomes super unfun if you make it, like, really punishing. Then you get the average RPG Maker game where they're like, it's super grindy, and that's content. I'm like, oh god. This is why nobody wants to play it, because it's boring. Don't get me wrong, I kind of find this, this particular thing boring now after having done it this many times. I have to stop looking away so I remember where things are at. I'm not gonna lie, at this point I kind of don't even pay attention to where they're at, and I just kind of let go the last thing I looked at. Like, I don't even remember anything I'm looking at anymore. It's been too many times, I don't even care. I'm definitely going to put a limit on the number of moves so it forces you to actually have to think it through. It's just going to be a fairly forgiving number. It's not going to be like, oh, 40 moves with like 22 matches. Because it's random, so it's going to be really hard to... I mean, like, you're going to have to get lucky, basically, to win with 40 moves. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'll probably make a thing where there is really just... You have to do this so you don't get anything. And I'll make a cost for it. But I am going to make it far more forgiving. Far more forgiving. Maybe later on I'll include a really hard mode just with a reward for that, I guess. But we'll see on that. I don't know. Oh, I'm not going to try that because the problem is there's a luck element. Like, you need a certain number of guess ones where you can just take a look and see because they're random. So it'd be like winning the lottery to get it in 12. Like, it wouldn't happen. Because there's no strategy you can do to guarantee you get it in 12. Because as soon as you click one, then click another, if they don't match, you lose. That was what would happen, and you'd have no way of knowing, so you'd have to just sit there and retry it over and over and over for that first time. Like, you need a certain number of free ones, essentially. More realistically, for if there's like 12 matches, you're probably going to need at least 24 potential tries. If not more. But, because otherwise it's just never going to happen. Nobody wants to have to reset it every time, because then you'd be like, oh, did I get the first two? No, I gotta restart. Oh, yeah, first two? No, gotta restart. Yeah. Well, like I say, 12 moves is not even extreme luck. 12 moves is win the lottery luck. You can never, ever be wrong. Not even once. So on the next time you click, those have to be right too. And yeah. So extreme luck is probably 24 moves to start with, because of the number of starting ones where you're going to miss almost certainly by just, the fact of the nature of what it is.
Hi.
Well, remember, the first guess is going to be, you're going to have to do 1 in 24 and then 1 in 23. And the next guess is going to be, if you're assuming you're right, the next guess is 1 in 22 and 1 in, 21. I mean, and then, like, you have to, like, you start multiplying that out, and it is like winning the lottery. You're not going to win this. Like, it's real bad. So you're going to need probably about 24 attempts to have any hope on that. Oh, I haven't beat this yet. Okay, I was like, wait a minute, is it broken? Oh, God. Why is it broken? I think it just double would actually be, like, already really hard.
I sense danger. Don't even try.
Not saying I can't have a really hard mode, but... Well, I mean, like, you're still going to make a bunch of guesses where you have to simply look and see what the cards are. Your memory doesn't even factor in until you've already looked at some of the cards, which means you've wasted a bunch of attempts. So with 24, you're given 12 different flips, essentially, to memorize what they are, which means you can flip all the cards once. And at that point, okay, well, if you have 12 pair flips, I should say, if you only have 12 actual flips out of 24 cards, then you don't have enough to use your memory. You would actually need 24, like, fake flips. So, well, there's not a smart way if you never get to see the cards. The way to really do it, if you want to make it a memory-based game, would be to put all the cards out there, flipped face up, and then flip them down. And then I could give you less attempts, because then you've seen the cards. But otherwise, until I do that, you're going to need literally one attempt for every single card that you can waste. Well, the problem is even with 12 flips, if there are 24 cards, you haven't seen 12 of the cards. So you are still guessing the other 12 times, and there's no way to cheat that. If it's 12 pair flips, then you can do it, because you'll have seen every card. But if I set it up like that, then the strategy will be go flip every card once, woohoo,
Take cover.
and then you'll have to go and remember what they are as you're flipping them, and then you can do it, and then you have to be right on every other attempt. Well, how are you supposed to cheat? I mean, like, literally, if you haven't seen the cards, you're going to have to flip a card.
You're welcome.
I mean, you can potentially get lucky on some of them, but if you've never seen the cards, you're not going to get lucky very often.
Don't even try.
You might get lucky, like, you've seen me go through and flip them all like that and try to get the two next to each other luck. It doesn't happen very often, as you can see. But let's say you get one on that, then you got 2 additional flips extra. But if you only had 12 extra flips total, you would never see all the cards, so it would be... At that point, there's no cheat, it's all pure luck, and... Yeah, you need a bunch of flips there. If you show the cards, well, if I show all the cards first, sure. But if I don't show the cards to all the cards to the player, then they need 1 flip for every single card as a bonus before they can even do the rest of it.
Don't even try.
Well, yeah, but the screenshot doesn't work either, and the reason it doesn't work is you don't see all the cards. You still have to flip them all once. That's what I'm saying. Like, and if I don't literally show them all at the start, which I don't have set up yet, then you literally have to waste 1 flip on every single card to see what the card is. There's no memory involved until you've actually seen the cards, which is what I'm saying. You're like, sure, you can screenshot it, but if you haven't flipped the card, screenshotting it does nothing.
Don't even try.
So if I reset it so that it literally shows them all first and then give you limited attempts, that's different. That's a memory game. But this is pure guesswork for the first X guesses, and then it's a memory game once you've done that.
Don't cross me. Hey, buddy.
And to be honest, I think I like the idea of showing them all first and then making it less tries, because having to randomly flip them isn't very good. Well, if there are 44 cards and you flip them all, that doesn't mean you know where the other cards are, where the matches are. Hey, you're just not paying attention to the fact that the other 22 cards you wouldn't know. Like, you don't know where they're located. So if there are 44 cards, you're going to need 44 flips to know what each of the cards is, and then you can know which ones match. 22 flips doesn't show you that. Well, yeah, screenshotting those 22 cards is fine, but then you still don't know what the other 22 cards are. You would only know what 22 of the cards are of the 44, and then you have to luck the other 22, which is why 22 flips isn't going to work.
Destroy.
I mean, if you want to do it like that, then you're still, that's still impossible. You need extra flips. Even with screenshotting, it doesn't help because you have to flip them all once to have seen. If you have 22 flips and you get to flip 2 cards per flip, that means you flip every card once and then you lose. And screenshotting it won't help because you'll have wasted all your flips just seeing what the cards were.
Take cover.
Destroy.
I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't go there.
Destroy.
I wouldn't go there.
I should move him out to a central area that I can run circles around him. Much easier to fight if I do that.
Lovely.
And then just run him back through this like a normal person. Come on, get near me. Get near me.
Go there.
Okay.
Destroy.
I really do think the end plan is just to flip all the cards and then give them a limited number of attempts, but it's going to be...
Take cover.
Heal was a little slow there. Taking a lot of damage.
I wouldn't go there.
Keep looking away from the screen. It's taking me longer to do. That's okay though. It's worth it.
I wouldn't go there.
Come on. Oh, I need to change this projectile. It's going to stay a sword for now, but it's supposed to be an axe. I'm not changing. I don't care right now.
Destroy.
Uh-oh.
Lovely.
That was a mistake on my part. Doesn't matter. I have like a lot of heals. Got him. Got him, boys.
Don't even try. Don't even try.
I mean, if they want to sit there and screenshot every little thing, let them. I don't care.
Try.
That's just fine. I mean, literally, with the way it's set up now, screenshotting isn't even very good. You have to sit there and race through them really fast to click, and then screenshot. And then you have to do it with a bunch of other ones, and then screenshot. I mean, it's better than just randomly clicking, I'm sure, but if they really want to do that, I'm not worried about it. Let them. Like, it's fine.
Hi.
I think a lot of people have this weird impression that they need to, you know, they're almost like against the player, a lot of devs, but
Hi.
if they want to, like, you know, if they found their workaround to cheat their way through it and they were all excited about it, I'm happy for them.
Bye.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like, I'm not really that big on punishing the player. I think that's
Are you ready?
a lot of devs do that. I want you to find out little things that break the game. I want this to be a thing. That's why Skyrim is so fun. It's not a balanced game at all. All these things break it all the time. And not break it as in it doesn't work. Plenty of things do that too, but they make it where, you know, there's things you figure out that are really good, really overpowered, and I want that. There's nothing more boring than a game that's perfectly balanced. Let's put it that way. If you could ever achieve it, it just leads to a game that's not very fun.
Are you ready?
So if your idea of cheating my game is to alt-tab a screenshot, cool.
I sense
Yeah,
danger.
you should get achievements for breaking the game. Please do. Find these secrets. Do it. It's more fun that way. I'm finding holes in the air right now. I'll probably leave half of them in anyway, because, okay. That just means the player can find them too, and that's fun.
Don't even try.
Some things I'm going to patch out, like the mob gets stuck on something. That's not very fun, but, you know, if you can find a hole in the AI, how it performs, I like that. Yeah. And see, that's fun. Everyone enjoys breaking the game.
Don't even try.
There's never any point where you go, oh man, I broke this game, that's terrible, unless your game crashed. Not that way. We'll assume that, you know, you found something overpowered. Everyone's happy when that happens.
Don't even try.
So as the game gets more and more complicated, I'm just going to add more things in that are going to be like that. It's okay. Seems fair to me. Mm.
Don't even try.
I mean, hey, you know, if they can find a way to infinite health, that's cool. Works for me. I got no problem with that. Unless the health is just always infinite. You know, if it's not, they're not breaking it. Like if they didn't have to discover anything, then I would have a problem. If the game was actually literally broken, but you know, if you can find an exploit, cool. Go ahead.
Try.
Exploit away. So maybe the last one's in the corner here.
Don't even try.
That's two. Let's get Venetia out first before I fight Snuggle On the plus side, everything is worth. These things just are not even threatening. Like, they're kind of broken. I don't like them. I'm going to leave them as they are, though. Oh, hey, Bob from the Epic Stickman Show. How's it going?
Congratulations.
Of course, we will just call you Bob, as you said that. Seems very good to me. How are you doing, Bob? Why'd I leave? Oh my god.
Are you ready?
Defeated. Oh no. Whatever. I wanted to collect the things again. 100%. Let's see what happens by doing that. Okay, it does reset.
I sense danger.
Also, Venetia's here too. Oh, good. Good, you're doing well.
Don't even try. Don't even try.
If I recognize you, I mean... Well, there's a guy named Fearless who shows up all the time and changes his name, so... You could be Fearless, I suppose.
I wonder where I can find that.
That's right, we'll never know. It is your secret identity. Hopefully you have a mask you wear. Yes. Hopefully it's a sinister villain mask or something. With a fake mustache and everything. I have absolutely no idea what that is, but you know. It's cool that you have it. I can get behind that.
Don't even try.
I know what Roblox is. I've never played it, but at least I know what it is. I remember when I used to have time to play games. Man, what a wonderful time that was in life. Then I got into game dev. Make games, they said. Because you like games, therefore you'll want to make games. Yeah, well, they don't tell you don't get to play games anymore.
Don't even try.
Just test your own.
Don't even try.
There are currently 5 people here. Shadow Dragon, Blinded Journeyman are here, and then a couple watchers. Who... Well, Mike might still be watching. He hasn't talked in a while. But he could be here. He's often lurking. If I just keep streaming all the time, eventually we'll just have a whole community of people here who will chat. Perfect, perfect. The time for beating this game is going to be way off since I basically replayed an area, but that's okay.
Don't even try.
Haven't seen Katagi today either. He usually shows up pretty much at some point every one of his things. Sometimes One Man Indie shows up. There was another person, a developer who I talked to for a while, and then I got him in Unreal Engine. He said he's going to be back in a week showing me what he learned. He never came back. Very sad. You got him all excited about Unreal Engine. Where is the last card? Is it in the central area somewhere? Did I break it by leaving and then coming back in? Because that would be something good to know. I mean, the odds that you would do that's pretty low, but...
Don't even try. Don't even try.
There we go.
I wouldn't hurt us. I wouldn't hurt us.
Let's get him caught on something. And then not stand too close, because his thing does a lot of damage. Nope, nope, you're doomed, buddy. I know the hole in your AI.
I need more mana. I need more mana.
I'll have to wait for more mana here, but that's okay. I nearly killed him already.
Take cover.
Lightning Storm's probably the only one that's even remotely balanced. Aww. I know how far before you trigger your move towards me thing, don't I? That's right. And that's exactly why I can sit there at just the right thing there. Yeah, it's a fearless thing. You get used to it. With random, the random things, yeah.
Don't even try. Congratulations.
Well, the good news is I'll end up saying fearless a bunch of times over this. I hope you've been counting, because I haven't counted how many times I've said fearless, so it's gonna be a while. But you're gonna have to keep, saying things until then to convince me to keep saying it. Otherwise, I'm just saying I'll stop saying it, and then you'll be all like on bated breath. I'll be like on 14, and I won't say it for hours. Just be that guy. Like, really, really.
Hi.
All right. That boss is clearly exploitable. Clearly needs to be fixed. Oh. Oh, she wants to talk. On the plus side, other than the game being horribly imbalanced, it hasn't broken yet. Even though I did a replay of a level and screwed all that up, it still didn't break. It's very exciting. Huh. How many we got?
Welcome.
I apparently found 0 of them. Oh, wait. Huh. $27. Let's get that there, but
Hello.
huh. It was saying something weird when I did that, but I picked up a note and it was fine.
Are you ready?
I might need to look carefully at that. There might be a broken thing there. Oh, there's technically 6 concurrent viewers. Technically. And yet there's only 5. As you can see, there's 6 and 5. 6 and 5. Fair enough. I never can understand the secrets of YouTube. It is complicated.
Hey. Hello.
There was actually a bonus thing I could have gotten, but I didn't grab it. Oops. See, if I just never say fearless like 15 times, right? It's kind of like not saying Beetlejuice 3 times over. You say it twice, and then Beetlejuice just sits there and constantly does more things to get attention. Yes, yes. This is the life hack here, or streamer hack. Yes.
Are you ready?
I'm gonna make note to put clues in. Put clues in for the locations of Zen and Clock's collectibles. Yeah, so we have our very own Beetlejuice. I heard they're doing a remake of that. Let's all try to act surprised and fail. And they said it was going to be with, you know, still Michael Keaton, because in order for a movie to succeed in Hollywood now, it has to have the original star somehow resurrected. And then, not really resurrected, but, you know, they digitally de-aged them. And then, Jenna Ortega. So you can have Wednesday, because, you know, obviously the lady playing, what was her name? I don't even remember her name. The daughter character. I don't know. She had a name. It was probably a good name. But obviously she probably looks terrible and can't pass as, you know, that, but Michael Keaton can still pass as Beetlejuice, evidently.
Are you ready?
I guess to be fair, Beetlejuice did... Lydia, there you go. Thanks. I guess to be fair, Beetlejuice, you know, is covered in makeup. It did look like he was dead anyway, so if Michael Keaton looks like crap with makeup on, it's perfectly fine. Completely acceptable. Just saying. Just saying. Alright, I have all the things in the areas except for Fortuna's ones, and then I have to go back into all the little areas. I didn't think this through for testing, but I have yet to ever test this.
Are you ready?
But this is a thing that I assume exactly 0 people will do, because I don't even want to do it right now. And that's go back in each of these levels and find the remaining collectibles. The time's way off, probably by about 5 minutes or something. I kind of want to watch Beetlejuice again. It's funny, as a kid, I didn't even like the movie all that much.
Danger.
I didn't appreciate it more till I was an adult.
I need more energy.
It might have been that my older brother was super into all those weird little creepy things and made a point of watching it so often that I really didn't like it anymore.
Take cover. Take cover.
Oh, that's right, I have the better block now. Oh my god, the better block. Yeah, I need a quest indicator for those things there.
Take cover. Don't even try.
What are you talking about? The new one will be full of all the weird little like political propaganda and, you know, be rehashes of the same ideas. Why wouldn't that be a great movie? Doesn't that sound exciting? That's exactly what I wanted. That's every remake now. I'm just like, oh god, I don't even want you to remake it.
Cover.
Please don't.
Take cover. Take cover. Don't even try.
Can't wait until Beetlejuice is a woman and Lydia is like, you know, Mexican or something. Oh wait, Jenna Ortega is Mexican. My bad. Actually, she's she might not be from Mexico. She's of some descent around there. But I could be off on the exact there. And I'm sure the story would be entirely about Lydia too. To be fair though, the original Beetlejuice was actually quite a bit about Lydia. 100%, it really was a lot about her. I mean, like, Beetlejuice was the shock and awe fun character, but it was a lot of her problems and trying to, and it was also about the couple that had recently died. It wasn't literally all about Beetlejuice, but yeah, I'm not expecting much. All right, can I even find these collectibles? Do I even want to find these collectibles?
Take cover.
I shrunk the areas down. Problem is I might have accidentally already found them and not realized it. Yeah, I don't know. This idea seems way too half-baked. I already hate it.
Congratulations.
Maybe if I just spawn them in. Half-baked idea is half-baked. I'll go check inside this one for the others.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I need a quest location thingy to give them an idea. Nobody's going to look for these.
I sense danger.
I mean, they'll look for the ones in the 2D areas. I think as I get more 2D areas, I'm also going to have more point-and-click style quests, I think. But yeah, otherwise you just got to try to find them, and they'll appear on the map and I think stay in play, so maybe not though. No, they should work like the tarot cards. Yeah, I don't know.
I need more energy. Don't even try. Don't even try.
I think I might just say okay and leave it as it is, and if you really want to try to find them, go ahead, but it's almost certainly getting changed later. I don't want to look for these. Not at all.
Don't even try.
Probably my impatience from having had to do this so many times at this point. I'm definitely wanting to kick this out the door real bad.
Don't even try.
I found them before, but I found only a handful of them. I never find them all.
Congratulations.
But I always find the ones in the 2D areas. Well, not always, but I often find them. Maybe it'll be a 3.1 patch. Yeah, that's it. Or a 4.1 patch. Yeah. We'll have mini patches.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna put them all in 2D areas. I don't want to have to go back in levels like that. Or I need to get more reason to go back in levels, or some sort of way to find them, or something. Make them actually a lot more possible.
Are you ready?
I think some are going to be buyable. I'll just have a list of where each one is, and then I could technically just write that in the dialogue thingy for each one right there, and just like a quick little thing saying this is where it is.
Are you
Like,
ready?
And that'd probably be acceptable.
Hello.
There's 8. I already turned in 10. I found 4. It's the odd ones that are in the levels. But I didn't even find the one for in Don Fluffles' area, and technically you can find that. Yeah. They're not technically broken, but they feel broken. Whatever. It's enough to beat this game.
Hello.
Technically, I found 8. I actually found one inside one of the areas. By accident. Probably when I went back in. Almost certainly. Alright, I'm going to save after all that. I don't want to do that again. Now for the real moment of truth.
Bye. Are you ready?
Also, I've been standing for 3 hours and 53 minutes. I think before I do this, I'm going to switch my
Sense danger.
desk to a sitting position. All right. I'm glad I shrunk the maps to half the size. Oh my god.
Take cover.
Later on they'll get bigger, sure, but they just need more to do. It really is the Unreal Engine problem of having that area that's like, oh, you can make this map that's like miles and miles across, but so what? It's this empty map. How fun is that? There's nothing to do in it.
I wonder where I can find that. Never.
Hello, Binky.
I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't go there.
Oh.
I wouldn't go there.
You know, it's funny. If you saw in the other testing, the heart was working, but now it's not.
I wouldn't go there.
Anybody notice that? Like it was saying how much health that boss has had.
I wouldn't go there.
Maybe in how I skip it, it does that, and it doesn't turn on correctly. That's okay. I mean, it makes it almost more interesting to not know how much health they have. Almost. I'll leave it as it is and then test it the other way too. I kind of like both, but for different reasons.
Take cover. I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't go there.
Come over here, buddy. What are you searching for? Huh? Huh? What you doing? What you doing, pal, friend? Buddy? Oh, Fearless, stop talking. Did I say it 15 times already? Is that what happened? I think I broke him or something. Or the meth ran out. If the meth ran out, you know, that's gotta suck. I just assume for Fearless it's literally like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas or something. Just go along on the way to Vegas doing every drug imaginable.
Boom, baby.
You are finished.
Boom, baby.
That movie's like so much better the first time and so crappy every time afterwards.
Finished. You are
It just loses so much of its charm when nothing is a surprise anymore.
Boom, baby. Boom, baby.
Oh, nice.
Boom, baby.
Said boom baby, and then he popped up on the other side like some sort of weird
Boom,
whack-a-mole.
baby. Boom, baby.
How much harder would this game be if it was melee based? Oh my god. It really would be Dark Souls.
Take cover. Take cover.
At least they give you the better block. Want to search and destroy right over here, pal? Friend? No? You want to go over there? No, that's unfortunate. Over here, buddy. Pal, friend. Want to play? I too wouldn't go there.
Take cover. Energy.
Where'd you go, Anna?
Energy.
She's just hiding over here, huh? Just do her thing?
Don't even try. Take cover. Take cover. Take cover.
Boom, baby. Boom, baby.
Her basic projectile might actually kill her faster. Because now it does 2 damage per shot. So when I managed to get those 5 hits, that was 10 damage to her, which, I mean,
Boom, baby.
he usually moves out of the way of a lot of things. But Firewall's that benefit of you don't have to stand there.
Boom, baby.
On the plus side, it's been like 60 FPS the whole time so far, but to be fair, usually Anna's where it starts messing up. Exploit her teleport.
Boom, baby. Boom, baby. Boom, baby. Boom, baby. Boom, baby.
That's the hole I found in her AI.
Boom, baby. Boom, baby.
While she's still, you know, teleporting, you can hit her at any new area she teleports to, so if you happen to be paying attention, you can actually screw her up pretty hard if you want to. Come on, pal, friend, buddy. Come hang out.
I wouldn't go there.
Double it up. Twice the fun. Double the mana cost. Take your damage and like it.
Destroy.
I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't go there.
Double it up.
Destroy.
Double or nothing, buddy. Take all that damage and like it. Oh yeah, take it. Oh, slow sucks so hard.
Destroy.
Don't fight that. That's a bad spot. This is a much better spot. Until you get hit by that. That wasn't very good there.
I wouldn't go there.
Destroy.
I wouldn't go there.
How you doing, buddy? Figured he'd be dead pretty soon. Oh, yep, use your thing. Use your roar. Do it. Do it. Use your roar. Yes. Use it. Keep using it. Your roar is terrible. I know exactly how far I need to stand from you to screw you up. This is such hacks against this thing. I thought it was so smart when I made this attack, and then I realized I could stand exactly a certain distance away and just confuse his AI. He'll jump now, but that's okay. I don't want to fight him right there. That's a terrible spot. Oh, shiny. I don't need it, but shiny anyway. I don't want coins. As much as the doll parts make more sense, I really like collecting coins. I'm just going to say it. Everyone likes collecting coins. No one ever goes, oh, look at all this free money on the ground. What a terrible world. Yep. Of course, I got hit by his other man. He does a lot of damage, but... wrecked. And that's what happens when you fought the boss. I don't even know how many times at this point. I literally know exactly where to stand and how to loop him and where to trap him at and everything at this point. Now you do too. That's fine. That's your bonus for watching the stream. Don't say I never give you anything. Yeah. I've been testing each skills against them, finding alternate ways to kill them to see what works the best, and it's definitely yeah. I find it, and that's my favorite part about replaying it. Like just testing these things out. That's why I'm really bothered with balancing it too, because I don't even know how good a lot of the skills are. But I've done so many tests. At this point, I'm getting a much better idea. Well then, other than those quests being really hard to find and really not having a very good idea, which clearly needs to be improved, it's not broken in any real way. You know what? That's good enough for me. Because I think the number of people who are even going to do that quest is 0. Just 0. I think that 0 people will try it. I'll be surprised when people actually get to the end of the prototype. Once they advertise it more, maybe more people will actually do it, but I'll definitely make I'll get some sort of shorts for it, or some people can actually see the gameplay. And also because shorts are all YouTube pushes, so shorts are the best. And I'll post on Twitter and pin the post at the top saying this is the actual playable prototype. You can just have fun with it. Costs you $0. Let me know how it goes. Tell me how bad it is. Yeah, okay, I don't care. Hurry up. Can you make it back to the title screen successfully? So I wanted to see something.
Don't forget me.
There you go.